kabayan, did you know that there is a Filipino hero who is considered as one of the youngest generals of the Katipunan, the Revolutionary Society of the Philippines, formed during the Spanish colony, and also this young Filipino general was also the youngest to die in battle. Who is he? Let's talk about him and some interesting facts about him here in Parkland Filipino Hours Pinoy Flashback. Pinoy Flashback, where we take a glimpse of Philippine history. But before that, if you find this video interesting, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring the bell so you'll get notified once we post fresh videos for you. So who is the Filipino hero who is considered as one of the youngest generals of the Katipunan? And also this young Filipino general was also the youngest to die in battle. Who is he? He is Gregorio del Pilar, also known as Boy, Aguila, or Goyo by his close peers. Gregorio del Pilar was born on the 14th of November, 1875, in Bulacan, Philippines, to parents Fernando H. del Pilar and Felipa Sempio, and is the fifth among 6 siblings. His uncles were lawyer-turned-propagandist Marcelo H. del Pilar, who was the editor-in-chief of Diaryong Tagalog and the La Solidaridad, and another uncle, a priest named Toribio H. del Pilar, who was exiled in Guam for his alleged involvement in the 1872 Cavite Mutiny. Gregorio del Pilar enrolled at the Ateneo de Manila and lived with his uncle, Deodato Arellano, and at the age of 20 years old, he graduated from Ateneo de Manila University in 1896, where he received his bachelor's degree. And around that time, the revolution against the Spanish government broke out. Thus, he decided to stop studying. And so, he and other young Bulaqueños presented themselves and joined the military service in the fight for freedom against the Spaniards. For his daring attacks in various encounters, he was steadily promoted in the military. Emilio Aguinaldo took notice of the young Gregorio del Pilar. Gregorio was one of the Filipinos who signed with their blood together with others at the Biak na Bato, and he later joined Aguinaldo in exile in Hong Kong. He became Aguinaldo's protege and confidential man. During the Filipino-Spanish War, particularly on the May of 1898, upon resumption of hostilities against Spain, Aguinaldo designated Gregorio as in charge of command for the province of Bulacan and Nueva Ecija. And on June 1, 1898, he landed at Cay Luntao with rifles and established his headquarters at Matungao and started the siege of Bulacan. The Spanish troops signed their terms of surrender for the Spaniards, while Gregorio del Pilar signed for the Filipino troops. During the Filipino-American War, he continued these battles in places in Manila, Caloocan, and even Bulacan. He was sent to represent the military and the president in the 2 peace missions, offering a ceasefire to the Americans after the fall of Malolos. And eventually, he was made the military governor of Pangasinan and the right hand of General Emilio Aguinaldo. And on the November 22, he was ordered to defend and protect Tirad Pass and to give time as Emilio Aguinaldo and his men made their escape through the mountains. General Gregorio del Pilar and his men bravely held off the American troops' advances, but were not successful in defeating the Americans. Gregorio del Pilar is remembered as the hero of Tirad Pass, and in this historic place, located in the mountains of Tirad in Ilocos Sur, the young general fought and held back the strong invading Americans with only a handful of men, thus giving Emilio Aguinaldo ample time to escape the conquerors. It was a one-sided battle, but Gregorio del Pilar fought bravely, and he paid for his heroism with his life. He was shot and killed on that fateful day, that is on the 2nd of December 1899, while in charge of command of Aguinaldo's rear guards. Before he died, he wrote a letter where it says, "I am surrounded by fearful odds that will overcome me and my gallant men, but I am pleased to die fighting for my beloved country." The American victors looted the corpse of the fallen general. They got his pistol, his diary, and even personal papers, his boots and silver spurs, coat and pants, and a lady's handkerchief with the name Dolores Jose, which was his sweetheart. Also included in the loot that the Americans took were diamond rings, gold watch, shoulder straps, and a gold locket containing a woman's hair. So what happened to General Gregorio del Pilar's remains? That is a mystery. For many years, many believe that the body of Gregorio del Pilar was either left to rot or given a year's burial by American Lieutenant Dennis P. Quinlan, who greatly admired the boy general. The second theory raised some eyebrows because the area around where the general died is basically made of granite rock, and it would have taken several weeks and several men to bury the body. It was only in 1929 when the mystery was finally solved. Manuel, nicknamed Abeng, and Bonifacio, nicknamed Tukdaden, personally knew the general and were among those who buried him and the other dead Katipuneros. So with the help of these two witnesses, the National Committee led by then Ilocos Sur Governor Alejandro Quirol Gico was able to exhume Goyo's remains. The said remains were then examined thoroughly before finally being proven to be that of the fallen general. Among the discoveries that proved the authenticity of Goyo's remains was the presence of a gold tooth. As it turned out, General Del Pilar had one of his gold tooth. As it turned out, General Gregorio Del Pilar had his one tooth filled with gold when he was still in Hong Kong, that is in 1897. Dr. Sixto de Los Angeles, the same medical legal expert who examined the now missing bones of Bonifacio, also concluded that the remains found in Tirad Pass belong to a Filipino male between 20 and 25 years old. All the evidence proved with absolute authority and without a doubt that the remains, which were later brought to the National Museum in 1930, are really those of General Gregorio del Pilar. Well, that's it for me for this video. If you find it interesting, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. But until then, stay safe.